Good day everyone, this is about time we say hello again in today's episode. Val taps on her mic, Alex pulls up his leg, and I ask one very important question. Am I climbing or I'm just holding? As you could probably guess by now, today we are taking you to New Zealand, Queenstown, which is in the Southern Island. If you ended up on our channel for the first time, I feel like we should give you a quick rundown. Long story short, we travel, so you don't necessarily have to. You can just get one of those scratch-off world maps and scratch it away as you watch our episodes. The experience is almost identical, but with no jet lag and upset tummy. We take all the risks. You in return smash that like and subscribe button pretty please. Sometimes we might even accidentally share some travel wisdom with you, but no guarantee on that. What we can guarantee though is that we will show you a few stunning views and hopefully make you smile with our near-death-like experiences. Let's go! We often get asked in the comment section, where do you guys live? And I'm happy to answer that question again, that we live in Sydney. Hence, we start our travel from here. And for the first time since pandemic hit, we managed to sleep overseas. New Zealand set a travel bubble with Australia, and we had a chance to visit this beautiful country without quarantining ourselves for 2 weeks on arrival. This was our chance, and we didn't think long, so we are going to spend 5 days in Queenstown and explore its surroundings on a rental car. In our plans to visit Milford Sound, Wanaka Lake and the Paradise Valley. This is just to name a few, and to start painting our journey, we have to make the first step. Time to get on board. This epic moment can only be remembered in slow motion. After landing our physiological differences in the seats, we were ready for the in-flight entertainment. Amongst all the options, I chose to watch 3 middle-aged men nagging about life. I have to mention that Alex kindly shared with us some homemade stuff. It was nice. I always thought that it takes at least 5 hours to fly to New Zealand, but was surprised that it only took us half the time. With that knowledge, I started to wonder how many times I could have gone to New Zealand by now, because I definitely had 2.5 hours for that.
But she says that you're a one-only lover.
Luckily, our thoughts were interrupted by the view outside the window of the relatively flat Australian landscapes. New Zealand looks like a different planet. Even from this height we realize how different things are. Colors are more saturated, mountains have grown like on steroids, and rivers are sky blue. It started to feel unfair that it's got all of this and all within one patch of land. If there is a creator, he must have been cautiously allocating goodness elsewhere, and when finally got to the last patch of land, simply bucketed all the leftovers here and called it New Zealand.
Finally we landed on the only straight piece of tarmac in the entire country, and after sorting paperwork, headed to a car park. As soon as we could dump our travel cases, we said hello on camera.
So, we had a very random thought, which led to a very certain decision, and we landed in Queenstown, New Zealand.
And this is a right decision. New Zealand looks like a completely different planet.
That already looks spectacular. We just walked out of the airport and it's wow. We're looking forward for our new adventures.
Here we come!
Woo!
Well, I got to admit, we're getting better at this. It only took us 17 takes to say something not entirely rubbish. Unfortunately, excitement didn't last long, as we realized that we spent all the money on tickets and now have to fit in this compact car. If you watched our previous episode, you could guess that Alex is behind the wheel. We're heading straight to Queenstown, where we don't have a lot of time before the sunset, and we're jumping straight into gondola to have a quick look from the top of the mountain. Queenstown itself is relatively small and has only around 15,000 of people living here permanently. But that number grows significantly when thousands of tourists come here. Mostly it's a winter season attraction, but people also find a lot of joy in summer hiking, road tripping and testing themselves on a number of adrenaline-pumping experiences. We're going to touch on that last one a bit later, but for now we had realized that Queenstown and Queensland is not the same thing.
So initially we planned to go to Queensland, which is nice and sunny, warm, but we ended up in Queenstown, which is sort of similar in a way. See, foreigners, life of foreigners, we always stuff up. But anyways, no regrets, because views are amazing and spectacular.
We all agreed that our spontaneous decision was totally worth it, despite of what Queensland could potentially offer. For those of you outside Australia, Queensland is a northeast Australian state. Lovely place. Hopefully, we're yet to tell a story about it. But for now, dinner time.
We had a few hiccups before we came here. First of all, Alex forgot the charger for his drone, which is the most important thing here.
So I've taken my drone for amazing landscapes and all those B-rolls, flies, but I forgot the charger.
Yeah, but we were lucky enough. Alex went to the shop and he met the guy who was that kind that he offered him his own charger, because it's almost impossible to find drone chargers here.
That's how good and open-minded are people here. So they're amazing. They just give the things for free. Finally, after all this day of adventures, we're sitting here in a place called The Cow. Cheers for our winter adventures.
After dinner we're checking in Airbnb. Let's call it home till the end of this adventure. An amazing view inviting us to a balcony, and then pretty much straight away frosty air pushes us back inside. First day in New Zealand coming to an end. There is no much left in me to share tomorrow's plans. Let's do it in the morning. Good night.
For the first time ever, we see the sunrise in New Zealand. Actually, it's just me. Alex and Val have been here before. Today is the day we're going to test ourselves with all sorts of extreme experiences. We mentioned that briefly yesterday, so let's get out of the comfort zone and emerge into this nerve-wracking day. By the end of which, you might as well see us wearing different pants. And who knows, it might even become a travel of 2 friends instead of 3. See how we go. To begin our day, we are going to a very famous burger place. People usually come here for lunch. We figured we could just do it early in the morning so we don't have to wait in a big line. That was a brilliant idea. We don't have too many moments of genius, so this is our time to shine. Val was the first one on the list of torture, and to be completely frank with you folks, it was the easiest challenge too. We are going on the same mountain as yesterday, just with one-way ticket this time.
No, I'm not ready at all. But I'm excited. I have all these butterflies here now. So, yeah. Oh my god, what am I doing? But it's fine. I'm actually a bit shaking. But fine. I'm sure I'm going to have lots of fun up there. Woo. Oh gosh. Oh my god. Oh,
Real.
now it's getting real, I feel it. Maybe that morning coffee wasn't a good idea for me. Doesn't help.
Nothing's going to really help you now.
Oh, thank you. My instructor. Is it all what's holding? That's it? Really?
That's very strong. And like this, once you're actually sitting, there's not a lot of pressure on you.
Is it a need double security for that? Oh my god, it's happening.
amazing experience ever. That's so cool. I actually thought that I gotta find my breakfast somewhere here, but I'm fine. My tractor was the best one, and oh my god, I saw the whole Queenstown from above. I felt like I'm a bird, and wow, that's wow. Can't believe it, but that's the most amazing experience ever.
Val survived and landed at the bottom of the mountain. She would have landed anyways, it was just a question of how quick. With the great pleasure of my colleague's survival, I quickly realized it is my turn now. It shouldn't take us longer than half an hour to get to the spot. I had very mixed feelings. Oh well, I remember I once jumped from a sofa and I did like a spinny thinny and I was totally fine, so hopefully this time it's gonna work out the exact same way. I can't see why not. Have you ever heard survivor stories who made it in one piece only because they did a good old stretch? I don't think I have either, but common sense is the last thing I have in my head now. You guys had any accidents at all? Is that a popular question, may I ask?
Nah, you're all good, man. We got a really good safety record.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yet.
You're going to be extremely unlucky if you're going to be the first person to have a break on you.
After a quick chat, a staff member marks me as already faulty. Anyway, you look, it just looks out of a movie or something.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we're lucky. We're going to double check your weight.
Yeah.
Look off for that.
It'd be funny if I lost 5 kilos on the way here.
Yeah.
Do I need to do this?
No, I don't need to, but just keep a hold of that. I'll put you in a little harness.
Little? Doesn't sound convincing.
Brave enough for a wee dip in the water?
Not really. Please don't do it.
Hey, bro.
Hey.
Oh, yeah.
I'm,
Would you like him back?
yeah, would you like me back?
No, it's good.
No?
All good. We made a decision.
Okay. You here for... You're staying in Queenstown or are you passing through?
Queenstown.
Yeah?
Yeah, we're just pretty much for a few days here and then...
Awesome, man. Nice. And then maybe a bar tonight? Take
hope
some
so,
tequila
yeah.
shots?
Yeah. I haven't thought past this moment.
You haven't? But you're gonna die with dignity and pride.
Yeah, thanks. I like the dime bit.
I think that looks good.
Can't move.
You can't move?
Yeah. Am I climbing or I'm just holding?
Would you do that?
Certainly not. I think he's very brave.
Oh, very brave man.
Yep.
Oh, just kidding, guys. Seriously. Even though I was scared enough for me to lose my... There's not much I can say. Gravity still works, so that's good.
And finally, it's turn to test Alex. He took his carriage in both hands and tightened the man bun. He's going straight ahead into the wilderness without even showing any fear. There's nothing left from his daily life. No cleaning up his cat's litter, not even winding up his mechanical watch. Because time is simply irrelevant now. It's just him and his biggest enemy.
In the silence of my lonely room, girl, my heart is filled with the pressure to my chest. My mind can get no rest. Fantasizing off those nights we shared there.
Well, okay, apparently Alex's biggest fear is a bath tube full of bubbles. We're not gonna judge the man and we'll count it as a success. Not only we all managed to overcome our fears, but did it in one of the best looking places on the planet Earth. New Zealand is mind-boggling. Anywhere you look is a desktop wallpaper. It's just picture perfect. There are times in life when you simply cannot spill enough words to describe all the beauty around you. No matter how hard you try, there's not enough vocabulary to give it a rich enough description. So you just stand in front of it and experience it like a child, for the first time, with your eyes full open.
Before the sunset, we decided to record some quality piece of journalism, thanks to Wikipedia.
New Zealand was the first country who gave women the right to vote in 1893. New Zealand is a land of ships. We do not realize how big is it. The industry is that big, they're producing about 100 kilos of butter and 75 kilos of cheese every year per person.
New Zealand is the first country where you can see the sunrise. There's a place in North Island, it's called Gisborne. That's the place to see the sunrise first. I assume same story with sunsets, but generally speaking, New Zealand is always busy. There's always crowded, there's always tourists, there's always season. Maybe not so much at the moment because of the coronavirus, but generally speaking, that's a known fact.
New Zealand is a part of the well-known Pacific Ring of Fires. This means there are a couple of active volcanoes in this country, and one of them you probably know. It is called Mount Doom, and if you have watched the movie called Lord of the Rings, you've definitely seen it. Another fact, God Save the Queen is actually the national anthem here in New Zealand, so it has two of them, same to Denmark.
When night drops, Queenstown has a lot to offer still. With the street lamps, a lot of talent light up too, and you start to see smiles as you walk.
Oh, good boy.
Of course, Well had a sweet tooth, followed by dinner. Welcome to our upside down world. Feels like we could simply finish our journey here. This is how eventful this day felt. But after a brief date with a pillow, we're heading to New Zealand's very unique destination, the place called Milford Sound. Stay tuned.
Day number 3 has started, and I think we're slowly getting used to these magnificent views, if it's possible at all. Last night temperature dropped below zero, leaving evidence on the roof of our car. Val makes some use of it. Today, most of the day we are going to spend in the land of fjords, and if we get back early enough, we might drive to Wanaka Lake. To get to Milford Sound, we are going to jump on a plane. We could have done it by simply driving there, but we decided to fly, because with chronic pain sometimes comes financial freedom. Nah, it's actually cheaper that way, and also much faster. Remember, we only have a couple days left here. We are going to the airport.
After a quick brief of things you cannot do on a plane, we're trusting our lives in the hands of the guy wearing pilot glasses. That was enough to convince us.
Next half an hour we're just sitting there with our jaws dropped. It looked surreal. I reckon you can only draw things like this. There was everything: mountains, rivers, clouds and waterfalls, the sun, where it could reach land with its beams. I'm sitting in the co-pilot seat, but not allowed to touch anything. I wish I had my pilot sunnies.
Queenstown is a place like no other. If you would like to have a picnic on the top of the mountain, no worries. Just hire a helicopter and you are there drinking a beverage of your choice. 20 minutes later, after you've done with your selfies, you are back at the pub, downhill cycling or even launching yourself off the bridge, with a rope attached of course. What I'm trying to say, it is a place where everyone can find something to their taste. Whether you are an adrenaline junkie or enjoying your golden age of retirement, it is an experience and a half where you'll be checking constantly whether someone slapped a VR set on you. We are landing between the mountains surrounding us from all sides and walking towards the cruise ship. This is a retirement version of how to see the spot, but we had enough nerve-wracking stuff yesterday, especially me.
And boy, we had a lot to see and touch. Get amazed and touch it one more time. And even constantly getting away with sneaky Instagram stories. On the ship we could just relax and act as normal humans, but didn't. We took the best spots in a pinch. Ivan up the front, I'm at the back, and Alex in a cafe. With salty air in our lungs, we kept on filming.
It's the coldest hand.
Before we get going, it is worth saying that Milford Sound is not just a popular tourist destination in New Zealand, but was named as the most popular one in the entire world in 2008 according to a survey on TripAdvisor.
But their hearts break loud. Far from ever feeling lost with me, I'll push you back towards the land and sea. They're going down for love, and love is free.
After that, we had not the best take to tell about this magnificent place, but hey, at least we tried. Hello wonderful people, and we're in a place called Milford Sound. And you've probably been thinking that the sound comes from all the waterfalls coming down and making a lot of noise and splash, but it's actually not true. It comes from seawater meeting the ice glacier, making a lot of cracking noise. So, here we go.
Also, we are quite lucky because this place is usually occupied by 1 million visitors per year. So we're filming this during the COVID time and are very lucky.
Yeah, it turned out not so much, but it isn't because we are bad people, it's just because we were absolutely overwhelmed with all the beauty around us, blocking our common sense almost entirely. We sincerely hope that everyone in your families is healthy, or otherwise wishing you a speedy recovery. To wash that awkward moment away, we are finding ourselves under a waterfall. Quickly, my colleagues using their bottoms to make way to get as close as possible, while as trying to find esoteric meaning in falling water and reads her wish list to the mist. Something switches and waterfall starts to work backwards. We were super lucky to capture this on camera. Grow up, folks, it's just post-production. On the way back, Alex and Val trying to make friends with the pilot. Not only because he's got a nice personality, leather gloves and mighty sunnies, but also because we have a plan. Stay tuned and you will see everything firsthand.
We speculate on what locals must feel when they travel, in let's say less goodness dense places on our planet. They probably not showing much, being nice people and all that, but deep inside they say something like, I've got a better view from the back of my shed. I don't know why, but this seems legit.
Right after landing, our efforts to become friends with the pilot did not go to waste as Val interviews Alex, our pilot, on camera. But Val, being Val, got too excited and answered all the questions herself. We'll let you be the judge of this serious piece of journalism.
Cool. So Alex, when you drive in a normal car, do you often pull steering wheels up and down?
No, not on a normal car, but on this sort, yeah.
Yeah, cool. The other thing, do you get along well with big passenger jets pilots?
Do I get along well? Yeah, they're normally quite jealous.
Are they jealous?
Yeah, because they don't get to fly around the mountains like this, so...
That's what I wanted to ask you. Do you see yourself doing that until you get retired? Because I would love to do that.
This is the sort of flying I love doing, so yeah.
That's beautiful. That would be my dream job. That's so nice. Another thing I wanted to ask, do you ever get sick of that view?
No. How can you get sick of this?
Exactly.
Especially on a day like today. It's awesome.
So how many rounds you can do per day on a busy time?
Maybe 3 or 4 on a busy day. But
wow.
Like today, I mean,
back and forward.
Yeah, backwards and forwards. So obviously this time of year is pretty quiet for us.
Wow, which is good for us too.
Yeah, and good for you guys, yeah. And obviously with the pandemic, it's a little bit quieter. So, but normally, yeah, we'd be doing 3 or 4 flights a day.
That's just basically what I wanted to know. Thank you so much. We had the most amazing day ever.
No worries.
Thank you, Alex.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Thank you.
One thing we all have to admit that Val has got some special powers, wrapping you in a cocoon of random speech and giggles. She once accidentally negotiated 2 hostages in Beirut while trying to order a coffee. This is how we all met, but that's a different story. Back to our adventure. There's plenty of daytime left on the clock, and as we speculated earlier, we're heading to the Wanaka Lake. As we were climbing windy roads of New Zealand, our car started to struggle. There was a plus to that. It was really easy for me to keep up with the car flying my drone. But if you think that drone itself had an easy time, that wasn't the case. But I promise to get better.
Wanaka Lake appeared in front of us at the best time imaginable. It is indeed a very beautiful lake, which definitely deserves a better notation that we're capable of.
The day number 3 is almost over, and we have arrived to Wanaka Lake, a very famous spot.
It is famous for the tree, which you can see on every picture from Wanaka on Instagram. The tree in the middle of the lake.
Yep, just a major one.
We found the lake, but we couldn't find the tree. But it's so many beautiful trees around.
Yeah, just pick any.
Hey, puppy! Oh, hello!
Puppy.
Hi, buddy!
Puppy!
Hello!
Hey, puppy!
He's submissing.
Puppy!
Oh, hello! You're crawling!
Oh, you're such a good boy!
You're crawling! Did
Such
you go for his swim? Did you go for his swim? What's your name? What's your name? What's your name? What's your Bob? Bobby! Hello!
Watch out, he's got a carrot.
So Bobby is happy.
Bobby is happy.
And we are happy too, because we had some day today.
Very nice.
And yeah, finishing our day by the lake.
And we've got a new friend.
And we got a new friend.
How are we gonna call him?
Bobby.
Bobby. Okay, bye Bobby.
You see, that's how New Zealand is friendly. Even the dogs, they come and play with you.
Dogs always come and play with you. Just saying. But you're right. Well, I guess that's it for today. On the way back we stopped at a bra wall. This place has a story of some tensions between local representatives and people. They tried to remove it a few times, but after every effort it managed to come back tenfold. Here's a little story Val completely made up for you.
Ooh, that's getting cold and dark, but we couldn't get past this place. This is extraordinary. Looks like bra market. But no, this is a place where every woman come past, take the bra off and hang in here. This tradition started from 3 girls who were traveling, had so much fun on New Eve, on New Year's Day, and they just took the bras off and put them here. So I guess it's means something like freedom or so. So It's actually flashback for me. We had the same thing at the Mungo Park at our first episode, so I won't leave mine because I left mine at the first episode.
That last bit was actually true. Never mind, tomorrow we have a very cool plan to visit Arrowtown. It's an interesting place, they said. And after that, we're going to the Paradise Valley. It's a valley, or to be exact, a road along its side. Very beautiful one, in fact. So we're very keen to get there. For now, though, good night. That's for us. You please continue watching.
Day number 4 welcomes us with frosty crust everywhere, alongside with fireplace smell and instant coffee. It's a union made in heaven. Talking of which, the Paradise Valley is where we're going today. But before, we're heading to a small, basically one-street town called Arrowtown. Neither of us remembers why it was the choice, but it was only 20 kilometers away northeast. No ordinary 20 kilometers for sure.
After a quick drive, we entered Arrowtown, and amongst all the options, we decided to choose an automated restroom. Well, this is where sophistication reaches its pinnacle, and we fall victims of a shiny button.
Door locked. Your maximum use time is 10 minutes. Press button to unlock door.
No!
Door.
After that, Alex did some volunteer job, Val did some limbo to look through a hole, and of course she found a dog. As you can see, not everyone is shopping for souvenirs and walking twisting their heads. To balance everyone else's delight, someone has to bury their head into a footpath. After seeing what other people have to go through to make a coin, Val agrees to say something on camera.
Breakfast time. We came to Arrowtown. This little town being established in 1862. When it was a gold mining rush. So since that, this town became such an attraction for all the tourists, where you can come and see all the beautiful colors in every season.
That'll do. We looked at the shop signs around us and realized that gastronomical interest is by far outweighs our interest in local culture. So in 5 minutes or so, we found ourselves in a pub waiting for a meal. We really liked how everything looked and enjoyed sitting next to a fireplace. After a nice meal, we went back. To get to the Paradise Valley, we have to return to Queenstown and drive to the west of it. As we set off, we bumped into a flock of sheep. It's no extraordinary thing here. There are 5 times more sheep than humans in this country. Remember I promised to get better at flying? Get in there.
We are driving through Queenstown and it really starts to feel like a road trip. We got lucky with the weather. Since we flew in, we hadn't had a single cloudy day. This is on the top of our incredible luck to be allowed to cross the borders at first place. As you probably know yourself, that window didn't last long. And after a few weeks, borders did shut down again, leaving all Mid-Earth Saga fans rewatching New Zealand from their TV screens.
Going further away from civilization, landscape becomes more saturated, and we're officially entering the Paradise Valley. Sky blue water and all the gradient, from frozen tips of the mountains to its bright green foundation. Landscape where fairy tales become true. A place where imagination can sit back sipping margaritas, because there's simply no need for it. It is spectacular here. First, there were electrical poles alongside of the road to remind about human presence, but as we drove further in, they also disappeared.
And just like that, we ended up in the Paradise Valley. Following this amazing windy road, we thought it just can't get any better, so we took our cameras any chance we had. And guess what? Another kilometer on and it gets better. So we're pretty much running out of juice by now, but no regrets, no complaints at all. New Zealand is just stunning. This very place is known for an iconic scene from the movie Lord of the Rings, so you can recognize this terrain easily. Look at that, breathtaking. New Zealand overall is known for its well-developed film industry. All you need is just a storyboard, everything else they can sort it.
We thought there is no way further, at least GPS told us that, but we could see gravel road ahead of us and decided to give it a go, since it wasn't much to lose anyway. The sun was setting and all we wanted was to escape the mountain's shadow. This is how we captured the highlights of this trip.
As we returned back to Queenstown, we instinctively followed the brightest signs in town. After paying a hefty ticket price, we ended up in a freezer. I'll tell you a little secret, we all grew up in a freezer for free. People who live in the northern parts of the world keep on saving every winter. Day number 4 and everything it brought to us stayed firmly in our camera and vaguely in our heads too. After that, there was a bloody moon eclipse, photographed by Alex, and a time-lapse. You already saw it in the opener. Finish line! There isn't much left, we promise. First of all, it's the last day, and secondly, we are flying back to Australia at lunch. It's the first day when sky looks grey, but no trouble for us, we pretty much captured everything we planned by now, so we are going for a walk in town. Who could possibly think it might have ended up differently? Guys feeding ducks with some rocks. Obviously ducks hate them back, but eat, just in case. Alex feels obliged to mock the musician with his air guitar moves. Embarrassment doesn't end there, guys decided to throw a little dance. The moment when Alex pulls his leg up, I started to look for a manhole in the ground. Musician masks his scream in this song. Luckily we notice a mechanical shark approaching us from far, and that changes the agenda. This no-joke attraction was invented here in New Zealand. It would be nice to try, but we already ran out of adrenaline supply in our bodies. Fortunately, Val sees another dog waiting to be petted. We are walking for quite a bit longer and eventually heading to the airport. While we were busy with all the pre-flight hassles, everything was fine. It's only when we sat down in our seats, last 5 days started to fly in front of our eyes. We could see all the landscapes, some of which were flying way too fast and had an adrenaline taste to it. Sunrises, sunsets and fireplace smell, waterfalls, mountains and windy roads. All of these memories will stay with us forever, same as this one. I'm just kidding. Alex is a god of dancing, period. Unfortunately, with that comes another conclusion. We showed you Queenstown and its surroundings to the best of our abilities. If you were lucky to see this beautiful place for yourself, it would be nice to hear your stories. Feel free to leave them in the comments below. For now, thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode. Make sure you subscribe just so you don't miss on that one. Bye!